Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast series, Thyroid Tales. So, in this avenue of thyroid, we feature STEM professionals from India to share their stories with our uh, early career researcher members and also those who wants to transition back to India. I am Vipul Panchal, host for the first episode of Startup Ventures series in Thyroid Tales. I'm working as a researcher at the University of Bergen, Norway, and currently I'm an active member of Cyber leadership team. So today we have Dr. Jagan Reddy, who is a founder, CEO, and CSO of UR Advanced Therapeutics Private Limited, which was established in 2020. So welcome, Dr. Reddy. Uh, yeah. So, Dr. Reddy, would you like to introduce URA Therapeutics briefly for our viewers?
It's pleasure to be here. Thank you, Vipul, for this introduction.
Sure.
Actually, uh, I'm glad to be here, and I think it's a very nice start from you guys to take the step how to transform, like, to come back to India. And I wish I had something like that previously when I came
Yes.
back to India.
Yeah.
So also how to promote science in India and how to take things forward when you go abroad. I think it's a very nice way to keep such a good discussion here. I would look forward for this. So in terms of starting my company, UR Advanced Therapeutics. See, I had about before I started this company. It's been a very quite a lot of journey before why I wanted to have my own company. So initially, I wanted to keep this company in 27 June, but at that time I did not. Neither I was prepared to start a company nor I was very confident. So again, I had to take back step and then be in the academics, and then I and then in 2020 I thought things came in such a way that where I had to take a step to start the company. Uh, Even though the work has been going on for a while, like there were different discussions, but being an academician for a very long time, uh, it takes a lot of effort to come to industry, or who had never had any experience with the industry, and to start a startup company of your own. So in this regard, when I founded this company, when I wanted this to have this company, the main thought process was based upon my experiences here in India and abroad, and having come back to India and how the science in India is and how the perspectives are. So I thought
Yeah.
I can create environment for scientists, what I had experienced and what I wanted to improve. So that's why we wanted to start a company for the researchers who want to take the bold steps, that they can be very focused on innovation, not on
Yes.
publication, not on other things. And
Sure.
that is one of the thing. And the
So,
other thing was, yeah.
if you could just mention what is the focus of URA Therapeutics and what groundbreaking innovations URA Therapeutics have been doing. If you can just briefly touch
So
upon that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the main when we thought, because this is a company and this
Yeah.
is not an academic environment, at the same time we have to think about the finances of the company as well, right? So
Yeah,
it
sure.
has to be economically sustainable in the long run. So we have devised a very sustainable plan so that we will be running the company for the next 20 years to come. We have the vision to the for such a long time. So in terms of the innovation, initially we thought what all the new ideas that we have, as a because I have been working for a very long time, and since I was the founder, then we thought about it, what would be the first product which is innovative, which can be which is a patent, which can be global patented,
Hmm.
and which can take forward the science. At the same time, we should be coming into the market as quick as possible. So that's why we have designed a peptide a small peptide that can bind to apoptotic cells or phosphatidylserine, which is expressed on the dying cells.
I see.
So it can be used as a kit for research purpose only, and that we are entering into the market right now actually. So we are in the final phases of preparing the product, how it has to be delivered and other things, so packaging and other things. And we are trying to uh, get the equipment and try to manufacture it ourselves. Currently, we are manufacturing for the external party. So in the this is the short, this is the first product, but however the main company, we are four senior scientists, each one in a very different genre. I take care of biomaterials and to a certain extent cell and molecular biology, and I have another colleague who is a immunologist, Dr. Aparna,
Okay,
and I have another colleague who is actually a purely cell and molecular biology person. He
I
is
see.
Dr. Bhavani Sharma. And then I have Dr. Surya Pratap Singh, who does mainly the bioinformatics and AI based approaches to our innovations.
Oh, that's
So
great.
this is the team, and each one of us take one product or project that can extend the technology that is existing, and also how we can in the future make completely synthetically artificially designed peptides using AI and ML based approaches. So uh,
Okay.
these are the kind of approaches that we are doing. So that is the first product that I talked about, the apoptotic detection kit. And then obviously we are entering into material for advanced tissue engineering. So
Yeah,
uh,
amazing.
thank you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So before we move into further discussion on URA Therapeutics, let's move to your personal challenges and overall journey, starting from inception of the URA Therapeutics. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were groomed as a academician, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So how this journey of transition was like, as in from uh, traditional academic kind of grooming to a founder of company or startup.
So it's quite, I would say, like, it's both my experience in, or like, the way that I approached over a period of time, the approach towards science, or, uh, and also the last 3 years has been, I can say it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
It's not a easy journey
I can imagine.
for any startup, especially if you are a founder and if you are going to be the sole torchbearer, and like you have to push the company.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a lot of effort, and you need to be prepared for really unexpected consequences, and you should have that uh, capability to take a lot of pain and still smile. So you can be frustrated, many of the days you will be frustrated, but the thing is that you will you are the decision maker, and it goes according to your will and wish. So you will be the determining factor, and you can choose how to
So,
uh,
so yeah. So
take the country.
if I may just interrupt. So when we talk about this, right? So if I talk in the perspective of typical academic person, I mean, starting something like this and taking full response, because it also involves an immense amount of finance, right? So
Yeah,
just to think about it, as in,
yeah,
and commit yourself towards that, I think that's
actually.
something, right?
That's true. That's true. Actually, you are used to getting your salary every month, being an
Yeah.
academician, and for the next 2 years, 4 years, you have your standard salary going on, and your career perspective, right?
Yeah.
And generally, you are much more in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the company, uh, you have the first raise of funds is through family and friends.
Hmm.
So, and, see, many people, even with all the 20 years of research experience, I know my product can get into the market within 1.5 year maximum. That's
Mhm.
the target that I had when I started this company, because it's a ready. I already had the entire thought process, or even to a certain level of proof of concept that I understood, the mechanism of it. So all that I had to do when I started the company was to redesign my peptide to make it sure that it's working exactly what it is, to completely test in different cell lines. And generally, when we work abroad for such a long time, we expect things to be done within 6 months at the max. So we will be in that calculation mode where you are very effective every day, and trying to
Yeah.
produce the
So,
results as soon as possible.
so basically, you had this proof of concept already available, and when you were ready, then you just decided, okay, now is the right time to manage the finances and start something.
Kind of, I would say I did not had the proof of concept,
Okay.
but I had the ideation. Ideation I
Uh-huh.
had,
Okay.
because I was observing something during my previous academic experiences. I observed some cells, some peptides were binding to the membrane, and then I
Hmm.
thought, how could it be? And then, because I was designing something to kill the cells,
Hmm.
and I was not observing this cell death, but I was observing binding to the cell membrane. So that ideation I had, and then only after I started this, I understood, when I thought of starting the company, this is some project that I can make it very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I chose to finance that project immediately. And the finances initially, as I said, friends, family, and you have to go through quite a lot of stretching from your part. I had
Yeah.
to sell a few things,
Ah.
properties and other things. So
Okay.
yeah, you have to, especially because uh, if it is, this is the goal that you have, and sometimes I was expecting I don't have to do that, but COVID was very harsh on us.
Yeah.
It was in 2020, so, and and then uh, some things did not go as we planned. So I had to stretch myself, and then
That's
I
what I
had to
would call
stretch,
commitment, right?
and at the same time you need to develop that strength, and like you know to take this to the end of it,
Yeah. And you also
so
received the this biotechnology ignition grant, right?
yeah, so this year I got two grants actually. So
Mhm.
biotechnology ignition grant of 50 lakhs, and then Aspire Bionest has supported me with the seed funds of another 50 lakhs. So
Okay.
in total 1 crore rupees I got the in terms of grants,
I
and
see.
I'm applying for, that is the confidence that Indian government gives you for the new entrepreneurs.
Okay.
See, basically, we can apply for several grants, and as you succeed one on the other, and then you can take it to next level. So even right now, I'm planning to apply for a much bigger fund through the government
Okay.
setup.
Hmm.
So that's how you will see, it's, you are not alone, but at the same time, you need to be prepared for that long journey. So
Yes,
the
I'm sure.
government granting money takes about 1 year by the time you get it in your hand. So big grant is very quick. It's
Yeah.
within 6 months you will get it
Yeah.
after the approval. So,
Okay.
but other fundings it takes time. But you have the support system.
Okay. I thought earlier that so when you thought of starting this, you at that point of time you could have approached for big grant, but I think yeah, this is something.
No, no. Actually, it takes quite a time.
Uh-huh.
See, I first, as soon as I started the company, I applied for the big grant and I could not get it. So I had to support by myself. And only very recently I was able to get it. So it's you need to understand, it's a lot of factors that will fall, because you are learning as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Our science can be very good, but you need to know how to market and how to get, how you have to show to the committee that how well your company is good to take it to the market and make the revenues. So
Yeah.
to understand that journey, probably I took time. So
So now
I
that you mention this, what factors would you consider are the crucial to be successful as an entrepreneur? And not even if someone wants to do some startup, what would be that critical factors that everyone should consider, that and mistakes that can be avoided, that you think that you made and you could have avoided?
Yeah, definitely. So uh, there are few things that I think, like, I could have avoided, but so basically, until you get the funds, even if there are investors or anything, until you
Mhm.
get the funds to make a decision. So basically, in only when you have it in your bank account, then start the works, or like, start
Mhm.
planning for upgradation of your company or whatever it is. And if you always, there are, like, you have to be very cautious of your decisions, how you are making your decision.
Mhm.
I ask everybody to be, mainly because of the economics that is involved in the company. So every time you are hiring an employee,
Mhm.
and I'm somebody who believes that I don't hire and fire. I
Mhm.
I like to book the employee for next at least 2 to 5 years, just like in academics, so that they will grow in the company.
Yeah.
So to support such a team, you need to always plan ahead, at least 1 year ahead. You should be, as a founder, as an entrepreneur. So in that aspect, so make sure you are funded for the next 1 year. Only then you hire somebody, and so that your company is in the, it does not have to be choking every month.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I would be very cautious, because last year I have hired 10 people who are very senior scientists and everybody, and then something came up, and then uh, the funding that we thought would
Mm.
be is finalized.
Okay.
Eventually, we did not
Secure.
go through with that funding. So then I had to make my decisions to stand up for the team, and then, like, I had
Mhm.
to do raise the uh, entire economics on my own. So until it is in your bank account, don't make the decisions early.
Yeah, that must be difficult though, right?
Yeah, so it is, that has been a quite a difficult experience,
Yeah.
but somehow we managed it and we were able to succeed for the next. Actually, it's been about 1 year and 3 months right now. So I think, like, that's a very good learning experience. At the same time, uh, I could have avoided that.
Mm. And how do you
But
feel that the infrastructure is? I mean, to for the startup, in your experience in India.
in India,
I mean, if you, I
definitely,
mean,
for
you
a
just,
biology startup company,
yeah.
uh, the system is decent, I would say,
Mhm.
but it can be much better,
Okay.
mainly because of the entire cloud of systems
Mhm.
that you have around it. See, like, my experience, because I lived outside India for 17 years,
Yeah.
and every time I plan something, I plan for 3 months, or, like, that
Mhm.
to be done. But in India, even if you order something, it will take 6 to 8 weeks. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, that is your frustration point. No matter how much you plan, uh,
Yeah.
it is going to take your time off. Like, you are going to be stretched.
Yeah. I'm sure. I
So
mean, this is the big. I would say one of the critical. What would we
yeah,
say? Yeah. Choke
critical
point
aspects
actually.
to starting, to make sure that you are working very efficiently. That is the problem. And
Yeah.
many things, like, such delays do happen in India.
Yeah.
So that is the difficult point. But on the brighter side, you are with your family, friends, and you know the environment. You
Yeah.
can work through the bureaucracy. You have to work through those ones. So fundings are very, like, especially for deep tech companies, the investments are very lean in India. Not
Okay.
many people are ready to take the risks. So even the biggest investors, you can go around, like, see, my product was ready to be commercialized for the last at least 6 months to 8 months, and I still did not secure any investment,
Oh.
but I'm to support myself. That's why I'm able to do it. But the thing is that it is quite a tough journey. You need to know the right kind of exposure, right kind of people that you are in the team. Build the business aspects to the company much stronger. So in India, you can see many business people who have started the startups can have the successful rate much better than
Mhm.
the scientists who have started their companies, mainly because you need to know the mainly everything boils down to unit economics. So
Yes.
you need to understand the finances, you need to understand the economics, how your company is going to fare for the next, get the revenues, make sure that your investors or the funders are happy. That will become your major focus as soon as you start the company. No matter how good science, it's always a
So
uh,
when you talk about this, understanding the economics of the unit. So did you have?
mhm.
So you mentioned your team and most of them are scientists. So is it was it just you who was trying to understand this, economics, and or you had some help from financial perspective, as in managing the financials?
Actually, right now I'm the only person who is doing that,
Okay.
but I have the advisors from at least two people, business
Hmm.
advisors.
I see.
So they give me the advice on like mainly how to take the business forward. So
Hmm.
when I go and talk to the investors, they will help me prepare the okay, this like it's not just to when we talk for the investors, but also the business plan for the product. So they come up with the, I will have some idea, I will discuss with them, and then they will say, okay, why are you doing this? Probably you can
Hmm.
do this. And
Hmm.
also many business people do not know the science and how the scientific products are sold. So
Hmm.
it's a learning experience for them as well when they talk to me. So it's a kind of it takes quite a bit of a time to educate on either side. So it's going to be a tough learning curve.
So in that sense, then those who are planning to start some startup or company, you would be the right kind of member of advisory committee, right?
Yeah, yeah. With this experience for the last 3 years of experience, I think it's I can help a bit actually.
Sure.
So always business comes first. Science is important,
Yeah.
uh, but business comes first.
And okay, so regarding this funding, so do you get entire funding together, or it's a regular dispersal? How does it work?
It's like a so both of them are two installments or three installments. One is a two installment,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is three installments. You have to keep upgrading, it's for 18 months. Big grant is for 18 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
every 6 months you have to show your results, and then they will fund the next amount of funding, and then until the 18 months.
So do you experience any delay in the dispersal? Because that's, I think we heard this in academic from the academicians in India, that the dispersal is not or sometimes it gets delayed, because in terms of
Okay.
startup I would consider that would risk a lot of things, right?
Big grant is quite efficient, I would say.
Okay.
So they are very on time. Relatively, it's very good.
Okay.
So far, I did not face any problem.
Okay.
It for me it was very straightforward with the big grant. But when I was an academician in India, and as I know of the academic culture, even though you are given a grant, it would take, by the time you get the grant, you might finish the projects. So,
Yeah.
that is there. So I
Okay.
do know of that experience as well. So it's kind of uh, you had to prepare. That's what, initial 5 years in India would be quite tough for any kind of scientist that comes in, unless they have external funding supported.
So you mentioned that you had already filed the patent for the dynamic detection kit for apoptosis, right?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
we have already filed the patent. So I have already filed the provisional patent.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking forward to file the final version globally once that is done. So
So
basically it might take about another year. Yes.
okay, so how was your experience in these terms, and do you need for the patenting? Because I'm not sure if you had experience earlier in this aspect, but if not, did you get any help, or how was it as an overall experience and yeah approach?
Yeah. So previously I had one patent. I know the experience of how the patent and this entire process,
Okay.
but you have to take the help of IP lawyers and everything.
Yes.
So there will be for me IKP, which is ICICI Knowledge Park, or Jagan Valley in Hyderabad. So I am
Mhm.
associated with that. So they
Okay.
help me with all this filing the patent. So you can basically it's on like you have to pay, which is again covered by the government to a certain extent in your grant.
Mhm.
So patent filing costs and other things, to the basic extent it is covered. So uh, you will get all the documentation help, but innovation is yours, so you should be able to describe your innovation and show your results
So, did you already had knowledge about this IKP Knowledge Park, or you came to know how was it? As in, because if I
IKP
was,
knowledge part.
so if I
Yeah.
have to start something like this, I'm completely unaware.
Okay, okay. So basically now, uh, in the recent years, India has a lot of these startup enablers, or
Mhm. Okay.
incubation facilities
Yes.
throughout India. There are quite a bit of them.
Hmm.
So you can choose whichever. Even in Hyderabad, at least I know of every big major institution has a startup incubation facility. University of Hyderabad, CCMB has it, IICT has it, NIPER Hyderabad has it, IIT Hyderabad has it, or Triple IT Hyderabad has it, and then we have T Hub, which is a pure this IT based innovation and medical device parks. So
Hmm.
quite a bit of enablers are there for
Okay.
startup companies.
Okay.
You would know them if you are in that city, or even online you can know them. So that's why when I started this company I chose University of Hyderabad, because first thing is I had friends there. The second thing is that it's close to my home. So quite a lot of factors, and then I thought, okay, I will start it at the University of Hyderabad, which has the incubation facility called as Aspire Bionist.
Hmm.
So through Aspire Bionist, I know of IKP.
Hmm.
Uh, and when we apply for the big grant, it is through IKP. If you are Hyderabad based, you can choose either through IKP or through Bangalore. You can choose what is your parent organization
Yeah,
when
I
you are
see.
applying for big.
I mean,
Then you apply. That's how
yeah.
you will know or get in touch with the IKP. After that, after IKP got to know about our company, and then they had a lot of understanding about our company. Then, actually, recently uh, we were given a fellowship called as IKP Fellowship
Yes.
for global innovation level,
Yes.
innovation capability. So they recognized us with this, and then with this they will support us, or they will promote us as their own company. So so that's the kind of support that you will get. So all the things play a role, right?
Yes, definitely.
Your team experience, your product, and
I mean,
then your market potential.
yeah, I mean Hyderabad, Bangalore. I mean these locations are quite good for start. I mean they have quite a good support infrastructure for startups, I believe, because most of
That's true.
these
That's true.
biotech
So
companies I see they are located either in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or yeah, in that areas only.
that's true. Actually, it's quite a Hyderabad is developing very fast.
Yes.
Bangalore is a very mature market, I
Hmm.
would say, in terms of startup company. They were very advanced because they started earlier.
Hmm.
Hyderabad is growing very rapidly, I would say,
Hmm. I see.
and the ecosystem, even the funding system, still the investor kind of approaches. Hyderabad is still growing, whereas Bangalore, I think they have very well established funding system, investor approaches, and other things.
Well,
So. but
Yes.
there are quite a lot of support system because this if this system has been there in 2010, I
Mhm.
might have started at that time.
Okay.
But at that time there was hardly any such system, or you would know of what to do.
Okay.
So
So seems like you already been planning on this from quite a long time.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so I think that is what I was looking for when the reason that I wanted to start the company, as when I was
okay.
in academics, to have your own laboratory is your dream.
Yeah.
So probably that would be one of the reason why I wanted to be in academics, to do my own research, not determined by others. But
Hmm.
you see, this is one thing that I noticed when I was in academics. You get trained to be a scientist for such a long time,
Hmm.
and then eventually you end up writing grants most of your life.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I wasn't much happy, I think. Okay, writing grant or come up with a innovation is good, but repeating the same sentences, repeating the methodologies, that I felt somewhere
Yes.
I was not very happy.
Yes.
So after I started the company, I realized, you know, uh, my main happiness comes when I'm observing something in the lab and doing things in the lab. So the innovations come through only because, or your innovative ideas come through because you are actually able to do the work, and you understand the entire science behind it, troubleshoot
Yes.
the things. So only then you can have the innovative thought process. So I think somewhere we lost the line in the academics, what defines a scientist. So I thought so
Yeah.
this is one reason why I wanted to have the company. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
have working scientists, what I call it.
yeah.
So we're not grant writing scientists, but we are working scientists.
And yeah, and I'm sure, I mean, everybody needs collaborations, and I'm sure you also have a collaboration with NSG Prayog Life Sciences, right?
That's true. That's true. So
Eh,
basically, it's not a collaboration.
okay.
So basically, we are the innovators and everything. We design our peptides.
Okay.
For now, we are collaborating, or what we can call it a collaboration, or we are getting the product synthesized by them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, okay.
eventually, product manufactured by them.
Okay.
So until the initial stages, until we set up our facility.
I
So
see.
eventually, what we will do is we will have our own facility, and the complete manufacturing and
Mm-hmm.
innovation happen with us. So that's the understanding what we have with NSJ Prayog. And I think this association has helped us quite a bit actually to make the product. Uh, so,
Okay.
like uh, especially to save the money, mainly because rather than investing in the infrastructure,
Yeah.
we were able to get it prepared from them. And also, of course, I do know that there are several companies I would have approached outside India, but I wanted this product to be a completely innovated in
Indigenous.
India and made a product. So yeah, that's why I chose this. And these were people whom I know in the through friends of friends, something like that. And then we were able to do that.
Nice. How do you decide, as in, to build while building a team? You said that you have senior scientists in your team and also in advisory board. So
So basically, the first team is going make sure that it's going to be the team that will stay with you for a very long time.
yes,
So
yeah,
that is
definitely.
very important,
Mm.
and also everybody in the team should be prepared. So initially, I had a plan for the team, and it changed. People will have different expectations, different things. Not don't think that everybody will be joining the same cause for a long period of time. So
Yes,
everybody has their limitations. So the team has to naturally form rather than you go and get the team, right? So you might get different people whom you think are the experts, whom you think is going to be with you for a long time, and whom you think, okay, this area this person has the expertise and this area another person has the expertise. You bring them, but the thing is that it might not be efficient, or it might not be going in the same direction.
And
So building is a process. It's not like you take a pen and paper and then you get the resume and then you screen the person, or some person who is a friend of your friend, or whom and then get them. But uh, being completely responsible and being in the company is a completely different approach, and to be sustainable for long term for the team to be there.
so how do you
Many things
recognize that? As in, so for example, if let's say I have no experience in AI therapeutics, okay, the how to implement AI in the therapeutics. So definitely, I'll reach out to
yeah,
people and find, let's say, right kind of person. But how do I know? Because the financial expectation is also related to
yeah,
this, right? So how
that's
does?
that's what. So basically, in a way, to a certain extent, I was lucky, I
Okay.
would say. So
Uh-huh.
basically, that I will tell. So basically, my experience has been Dr. Aparna is wife of my very good friend.
Okay.
So I know her.
Mm-hmm.
So when she joined, initially we did not know much, but after she joined the company, slowly we understand how she functions and how things go. So I got an immunologist,
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Bhavani, he was my colleague when I was in academics in India.
Okay.
So he joined me, and
Mm-hmm.
then they stayed together during the toughest periods of this company. So,
Okay.
and Dr. Surya Pratap Singh, it's a funny story actually. He
Okay.
came when I first came to India. he- in my lab. He's a bioinformatics scientist. He wanted to learn some wet lab techniques, so he wanted to come to my lab. So he
Mm-hmm.
spent in my lab for about 3 months,
Okay.
and then he left and he was in touch. So when I started the company, when I told him, okay, this is what I'm doing, and he wanted to be in the research. He was actually an assistant professor, and
Okay.
at Vanasili Vidyapit, Rajasthan.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of experience and he was good with programming. I understood that person. And
Okay.
when I told him he first resigned, he's the one of the first person to come and join the company. So, and he takes care of this entire AI. See, I only have the idea, and I can only show the direction.
Okay.
He does the entire programming of he understands my idea, and he will see how it can be converted.
So
So
basically, leader makes the leader, right?
yeah, I don't know about leaderships and all these things, but the thing
Okay.
is that you need to have the people. You need to always understand that, in a equally cohesive environment. If
Okay.
somebody thinks that I am a leader, then I think half of it will be lost. I think everybody is either a leader or a follower depending upon the expertise. So so basically, if I say I am the leader in bioinformatics, then it would be so false of me. I
Mm-hmm.
will tell him, and he will lead that entire project,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I might have an idea. I might, because I'm a little bit more experienced than him.
Mhm.
So I might think about what can be done, or how it can be done. Like, is this approachable? And then
Mm.
he will think about it. So basically, we are all a good team, I would say. We don't think about leadership. We don't think about these are. I think these are very good to talk about, but I think in
Yeah.
the
Sure.
implementation stage, you need to be very kind to each other and very understanding of each other. That's where I think it makes a difference.
Definitely. Yeah.
And we
So
should have the passion and to be supportive of that cause.
I think the experience in academia brings that the kindness and helping
Yeah.
each other. I
So
think.
being in the academics, it will help you,
Yeah.
to see how to grow together. I
Yeah.
think that's one thing in the academics. And also you are not completely always focused on your salary most of the time. So generally, probably this might be preparing for a startup. Like, we always work with very less money in academics. So probably
Yeah.
you are used to it, and then, like, we are happy with if we are given the choice to work on what we wanted to work. So that helps. So all of us are academics.
So that means
Also,
if you are planning to start up, if you are planning to go for startup, definitely have academicians in your as a team, right?
yeah, I think that helps. That helps a
Yeah.
lot of a
Yeah.
lot of the time, especially if you want to be an innovator. I
Mhm.
mean, like, if you want to be a generic company or like a contract research or something like that,
Okay.
it's a different approach. But,
Mhm.
like, if you want to do innovation, you need to have a strong team which can, like, have the expertise in the subject. And also, this is the core team, and I got the support from the very senior professors, like Professor Redana here at the University of Hyderabad,
Mhm.
and some of, like, University of Montreal, Meg Griffith. I know I always can count on her if I
I
need
see.
something. So, like, in this academic environment, you develop the network, you have the people. And I have my friends at the University of Hyderabad who are professors there or assistant professors there.
Mhm.
So I can always reach out to them, and I can always collaborate with them. So there are many people like this. Dr. Bindumadhav Reddy, who is my friend, actually, he is at the university as a professor. So these are all the people who associate with you, and who will see, like, your direction, and then they will
Yeah.
understand your difficulties, and they will understand the scientific thought process. And if you can gather enough amount of people, and then network will bring,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So networking. Yeah. So now that brings me to commercialization of the product. So you have your after all this struggle, you make your product, and then it comes down to commercializing it. So
Mhm.
how is your experience about it?
So commercialization, I just started. So I'm packaging, as you said. I'm preparing how to designing the package and everything.
Mhm.
So we have a strategy,
Mhm.
and I can tell you, the strategies have to be each product dependent, depending upon the product and how you approach it.
Mhm.
So it's coming from academics. It's always take the, like, guidance from the business people how to market it,
Yes.
and get your marketing team, get your business development team, and they
Mhm.
will take care of it for you. You
Mhm.
should be, like, you should know how to trust your experienced people. So that would be the biggest point for you
So how
in
many
terms of,
products
because
do
there are
you
many people.
have at the moment in the market? I
No, no,
think.
no. We are still not in the market. We are
Okay.
giving the beta testing for different people, and
Okay.
so far many people have liked it, and they are good to go.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah, so I think, like, I'm going to go throughout India as an experienced person in science. I can go and speak, because these are initially for
Mhm.
the scientists
Mhm.
product, so for
Yes.
research use. So if I can go and speak, I think many people can understand the science, and probably I will be able to contribute more to the marketing.
Mhm.
But regarding the constant being in touch with the customer, understanding it, I think that's a different team that I have, and
Mhm.
they will take care of that.
I see. Nice. And so now, coming down to the career opportunities at URA Therapeutics. So, do you
Yeah.
have any career opportunities available? Qualification criteria related to it, and hiring process, if at all?
Yeah, actually not right now, I
Okay.
would say,
Yeah.
but hopefully in the next 3 months,
Okay.
I will be hiring.
Okay.
So it depends, actually. Right now, you see, as I told you, like, if I'm hiring somebody, I'm hiring them for long term,
Long
not
term.
for
Yeah.
a. Yeah, I always see, like, how the person fits in the long term.
Hmm.
Uh, Probably this is my either positive side or negative side, because of coming from the academics, I cannot fire people very easily.
Yes.
So uh, so, like, I see, like, we are building a society. That's how I see it
Yes.
when I'm building my company.
Yes.
community, not society, probably community. We are building a community. So even as of now, whoever I have hired, I think like most of us who stayed together during the toughest period, they
Yes.
are going to be there for a very long time. So in terms of next genre that is going to come, because right now next is only on peptide synthesis, purification, and packaging, and
Okay.
then some people will be working on tissue engineering and 3D printing and microfluidics.
I see.
So we will have like a section, at least 5 6 people uh, or 10 people on one side, which will be completely manufacturing side,
Mhm.
and at least another 5 6 people in the research side.
So do you already receive queries related to possible opportunities, or it's a closed
I
circle
do
at the
get
moment?
No, no, no. Actually, I do get like on the LinkedIn. I'm quite active,
I see.
so people keep sending me the messages, and whenever somebody sends me the message, I always make sure that I keep their resume.
Okay.
So if because I always see if there is a somebody who will fit the criteria, or who,
Yes.
and also many people, because you are the founder and you know the company, and
Yes.
because you have the network of people whom are your friends, colleagues, and they will keep referring you, or if they think that you are good. so so
Yes.
in that way I get most of my resumes, so in that aspect I think you always have to choose, and who is going to be right. And if they are younger people, they have to choose if we are the right people for them in their career growth. So it's a lot of factors will play a role.
Okay.
And I think your reputation will be most important, how you are with your team, how you can take forward your team.
Okay. So how do you see URA Therapeutics in 5 years from now? Or do you have any set goals in mind? As in,
Yeah,
you said that you are already doing the beta test for the product, one product, and do you have
yeah,
more products or something like that?
yeah, that's true. So basically, this year will be only one product, but
Mhm.
next year we will come up with two more products actually.
Okay.
So and then in the third year, or somewhere around 24 months from now, we will be entering one product into the clinical trial stage, or
Okay.
at least we will be finishing the animal studies.
Very good.
So we have a sequence of products for the next 5 years.
Okay.
So in the next 5 years, one thing that I'm planning is to have one R&D facility in Belgium or in North America.
Okay.
So let me see, the goal is, say, after having the experience of being in India and doing research, somewhere I believe or I feel that having a facility outside in India, some of the things I can get things much faster. And so it's always I would like to have one facility outside India. So that's something that I will see probably in the next year. uh,
Okay.
s- so that's how I'm going to grow. And then I want this company to be self-sustainable in the next at least 2 years.
Hmm.
And then so that I don't have to dilute the company much and take it forward.
Yes, sure.
So we do have quite a few goals, and I see that at least in the next 5 years, we should be with three products with consistent revenue, and some in the at least finish in the phase two, phase three clinical trial, are getting into the market with for those therapeutic areas that we are targeting.
Mhm.
So that's the goal.
Okay. And in terms of diversification, or
Yeah, I think diversity, we are already pretty diverse. Actually, people, whenever they talk to us, then they are always question us like, you have so much diversity of products. How are you going to take it? And I
okay.
keep telling them that we are a very experienced team for a startup company.
Okay.
That's why we are able to diversify. Even though we are focusing 60% of the time in one product right now, the other
Mm-hmm.
products get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and whatever the amount mainly because of the financial restrictions, we are focusing on one product. But
I see.
in terms of diversification, you see, materials for tissue engineering is one of our forte and where we would like to take it forward.
Hmm.
And I have previously established the biobank, so I do know how to do the entire organoids,
Okay.
3D cultures, and the organ on chip is something
Hmm.
one area that will be going forward. Uh, and developing the microfluidic based device system for diagnostics.
I
These
see.
are the three areas that we think will be there in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty impressive, I would say.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we are moving towards the end of the session, I think what advice would you give to the as in terms of starting or going for the startup, the most important advice that you would like to give?
Okay. So basically, to start a company, make sure that you are in the right frame of your mind, like and you are completely with it.
Yeah.
You would feel it, you would know,
Okay.
like don't come in a haze because everybody is starting a company, or
Yes.
you have an idea you should start a company. No, you should be prepared to have the company and be the long term founder.
Hmm.
You can show exit strategies, but that those will all be only short term basis.
Hmm.
But if you are a real founder and you want to make a change in the uh, things that you want to bring into the society, or like in terms of therapeutics or any aspects to it, make sure that you are prepared for long haul, and you should be strong enough, build a team around you that will support you and understand there will be difficult times, be prepared for it.
Yes.
And don't lose hope. Make sure that you are persistent, and I'm sure, one it will be a very good learning experience that I will recommend. So you would not get it anywhere. This is a lifetime of experience that you will get it in a very short time period.
Yep. I
Yeah.
think that's all. I think our Sairoi podcast listener would like to know. I think. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Jagan, for patiently answering all questions and sharing your valuable insights. I think URA Therapeutics is going to be one of the leading company for the innovation-driven economy in India, I believe, and I wish.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we would look forward to. Thank you
Yes.
very much for having me.
Yes. Sure.
And it's a pleasure to share my experience. Yeah.
It was pleasure to host you on our postcard series, Jagan. And we, the Thyroid team, wish you the best, and also the URA Therapeutics. And for our viewers, we'll come back to you soon with a new speaker. And till then, stay well.